Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Let's take a look at the energy. I'll pull some cards. I'll do 4 cards. And while everybody comes on in, and then I have some announcements. I've added some membership tiers and they're teaching tiers. So you can take my classes that way through the membership here on the channel. But let's take a look at the energy. We'll go into that in just a minute here and see how we're doing. It's kind of wild out there. Ooh. So 8 of Wands is our signifier. Either means big change where it's been stagnant in our lives. Now it's picking up the pace, or it could be that we're going on vacation. Yes, I'd rather do that. But it means that we're ready to create change. You know, this has been a time of a lot of chaos out there, a lot of it's just big energy going on in the world, and it's a shift. It's an activation point in our consciousness. It's here for a reason, and we've talked about that before. You guys all know that it's kind of bringing some people closer to a choice, or realizing that they do need to choose, or they need to choose a different path for their life and for their spirit. Everybody is leveling up. That's why you're feeling tired. Folks are tired. Folks are emotional. You may get up a lot later and then find you're taking a nap, 3 hours. It's interesting. My clients that I'm reading for, working with lately, are experiencing that, and they kind of feel guilty about it. And I'm like, oh my God, man, don't feel guilty. Just go nap. This is a collective upgrade that is happening. And people are also talking about how their intuition is changing. It's becoming more clearer, or they're upgrading, or they're leveling up. These are phrases that are coming through, folks. But back to the read. 6 of Wands is in our past position. That's the beginning of the storyboard. So it means that we've achieved a victory of some sort over a recent battle, whether it's in our external world or in the inner. That there's a lot going on in the public. There's a lot of energy going on around us. It's not a real quiet time, and it's challenging us to adapt in our spirit, because we're marinating in the 2 of Pentacles, and that is about our ability to create calm among chaos. So it's finding that peace and that balance within. And we've talked about that before. Do things that make you happy, like napping. Put the heating pad on and just close your eyes. Watch a movie, hang out, go hang out outside, go ground yourself. Come up with your phrase, so that you access that still point within. Dimension 1. It's that light, that spark of you. It's that framework of you. Think about being inside of a serene, dark cave, like down in the ground, but it's a safe cave. It's got a beautiful crystal right there that you're sitting next to, and you just feel the essence of you before your consciousness comes online, to slow down that rumination, any sort of anxiety. I feel a collective anxiety rising up And that is the challenge of now, is to have all of this going on reflecting back to us this need for staying grounded, for staying calm. For us, it's forcing us to find ourselves within all of this, staying calm and at peace and ease. That's the Two of Pentacles, finding peace and balance in our outside world by first finding that peace and balance within. Ace of Wands is in our future position. It's a brand new opportunity. I don't know. Every day just seems to be a brand new opportunity for us to keep finding that peace and calm within. Lots of opportunity lately, and it will continue. I'm sorry to say, but so just roll with it. Right? Watch the Canine Convoy. I highly recommend that. Or the Paw podcast. It's these two dogs that talk about being dogs. It's really great. So, all right, we've got some people on board here. I'm going over to the comments. Hi, guys. Hello, Denise. You're the first one in the house. Hi, Paisley, Gail, George. Hello, Claire. Michaela, ready to create change, she says. Ready to go. Hi, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you, moderators. Thank you to all the new members of the channel and those folks that have joined and the folks that have subscribed. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hypnicity's here. Hi, Sharon the Frenchie. And Zeba. Hi, everyone. She says, Hypnicity. She's from Linwood. And Susan Tooney. Hi, sweetie. Paisley. Hello, T. Lynn. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. God, I'm just not built for this. Why is my mouse is not mousing? All right, T. Lynn. Infinitely blessed. Hello, soul family. She says Odelia's in the house. Hi, Rose Blue. Spiritual questions, please. I'm still recovering. Salty Tea. Hello, my dear. Hi, sweetie. Personal questions. Still, April 7th will be my procedure. So I'm getting my health back online. It'll be great. It'll be great to get back to me. So I just got to kind of, as my doctor said, she said, just coast. It's like I got to drive my car around from my kitchen door. I come around up here because my office is up on the second floor. I have my own door. So that's my commute. So I'm just keeping everything just peace and ease within. And, it'll be good. It'll be good here soon. Hi, Arlene. So it helps me if we can just talk about spiritual stuff. Ask me questions, personal readings. It's a little too much for me. I read this morning for my clients. So, but I'm happy. I love to talk about spirit stuff. You know that. You can ask me questions about Sasquatch and all that stuff. Thank you, Rose Blue. And Denise. Okay, gang. So some of you have seen it. I'm having a contest. We're going to do this every month. If you watch a video of mine in the comments, if you leave I am love or I am heart emoji, that enters you into the contest for a free 30-minute reading. So at the beginning of every month, I'm going to pull a name and gift a person who wins the contest a reading. So all you have to do is just comment I am love or I am heart emoji, and that gets you in the contest. So we'll do that for a while. I love you all so much, and we kind of need we need each other right now. So I really want to help. So please, what are my feelings on dragons? Oh, salty tea. I love dragon energy. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting my ADD. I get distracted. Hi, Jennifer P. Hello, hun. Yeah, thanks, infinitely blessed. Yes, check out my rock shop. Okay, guys. So please put any questions in caps. It helps my eyes. If you can do that. Anything else? Oh, membership tiers. So I finally figured it out after 5 years. I'm so excited. I love Adrian. Adrian Date or Dottie. He's my I don't know, producer, director, business coach, YouTube coach. I don't know. He's awesome. Some of you have met him. He's helping me with my videos. And so I've created membership tiers. Now, I teach a lot of classes. And so what I'm going to be doing is broadcasting those when I'm teaching them. So you can sign up on my website, or you can sign up. There's the Woo Crew, which is just the basic level. It's just you guys supporting me and the work I do, keeping the lights on and the cameras rolling, kind of pays for that, all the software and all that stuff. And just you're part of the Woo Crew. And there's a group that we hang out, we meditate, once a month, we get together. So that's the Woo Crew. Then it's the Living Light teachings. And that will be all of my teachings. So that will be like 3 a month. And they'll be streamed on YouTube, so you can join there. But I will also pop on with supplementals. Like, say we're talking about spirit guides, right? And I do the spirit guide class, and we stream the 2-hour guide class. And then I'll pop on with, well, how do you know that your guides are trying to reach you if you're going through moments where you're feeling lack, right? And there are specific ways that our guides will nudge us and help us. And a lot of times we don't recognize it. So I'll just pop on with a little like 20-minute video. So you'll find that that's like, it's just kind of like all my teachings. We'll talk about spirit guides, chakras, meditation, how to meditate, all kinds of stuff, becoming the light, using sacred geometry and meditation to heal, for healers out there helping. It's for moms to help their kids. It's for healers to help their clients. It'll just be a whole hodgepodge of great stuff. And then there's the inner circle, which is the highest tier. And so it's all that stuff from prior, but then it's where we get together and you can ask me the questions, like real clarifying questions. Like, say you're in the Dimensions series and you have a question about that point between where you drop into dimension 1 and you're finding your still point, but yet you can't turn off the rumination. What is it? And I'll channel a message from whatever star being wants to come in, or if it's Courtney or Pink. See what I'm saying? So you'll get more time to ask questions. It's like the second tier is about the teachings. The third tier is like more engagement, more of the channelings, doing private readings, on the fly. I'll read on something or channel something. It'll be just like when we are hanging out after classes or the Woo Crew. But it'll just be, a good hour and a half of that. So, and we'll meet a couple times a month. Plus, I'll be popping on with clarification, like, say you've taken the soul contract series, and usually what happens with folks who do that, about 6 to 9 months, if you are religiously, regularly doing your journal exercises and your 6 calls and your energy release and really working on your transmutation, then what will happen is, remember, the energy starts to shake and really shift in your body, and it will come forward. And where it comes forward is usually in the area of like money, because that's around lack, your relationship with lack. And that's a whole reflection of I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve, or I'm not enough. That's when that can show up. And then you can ask questions about that. I pop on and I do a clarifying video. Does that make sense? Give you the mom speech. Ba 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 ba. So that's what's going on. So check it out. And let me know what you think. I'll see you in the comments on that one. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Oh, the energy in New Zealand. New Zealand. Okay. Rose blue, do what sound like a loud voice in the room or in your head? What are you talking about? And Sharon the Frenchie keeps seeing weird things in her side eye view. Ah, I love that. We are blessed, you bet. Do your levels replace Patreon? I'm not on Patreon anymore. Yes, they are, but they don't replace Substack. Substack is a totally other, it's another teaching platform that I have, because it's a different thing going on over there. I mean, they can cross, people join both and get my information, but some don't know about each other, right? So it's different. So it won't replace Substack, no. Thank you, though, honey. Yeah, Substack, yes. Yeah, good question. Thank you. Yeah, please share, like, and subscribe, you guys. Hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm so much. Okay, I'm grabbing questions. So yes to the woo. I think I asked you the first thing. Hi, Arlene. She wants to know what stone we should be wearing this month. Lepidolite, lepidolite, lepidolite. Get a big piece of lepidolite and put it around your neck. But perfect for right now. We've just entered into this weird phase in our country and on the world stage. And Lisa'd like to know about, so I'll get into that. Blame it on my ADD. Oh, okay. Hypnicity, yes, sweetie. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. My mouse is not mousing. Yeah, T-Lin. Okay, all right. Yeah. And Gail George, Florida is a real activation point. Any of you Floridians, And you guys are tired, man. You guys are holding up a big part of the energy that's collective, like in that part of our country, like down there, over. You guys are okay. You have a big job to do. All right, here we go. Salty tea, dragons, dragon energy. Yes, it's veracity is the word that comes up. I have a lot of stones in the rock shop that are in cut into dragons. Dragons protect you. Um, but they tap into that inner strength within. So, absolutely. I'm really about having stones and reminders, figurines of dragons around your living space because they do protect you and they do remind you. But you guys Google about dragon energy. There's so much information on that and how you can tap into dragon energy. I love it, Salty Tea. Wonder why that's coming up for you right now. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Rose Blue, what do you mean by that? Does what sound like a loud voice in the room or in your head? Are we talking about spirit guides? I'm kind of spacey today, you guys. I'm pretty tired, so I'm probably all over the place. So don't be frustrated with me. I know people get really frustrated with me. Okay. Um, Sharon the Frenchie, she keeps seeing weird things in your side eye view, like an alternate world. Do any of you see it also, or am I going crazy? Yes, Sharon, if you are in a place where there is a lot of activity, like with ghosts and beings, and if you're near a portal, you will see beings in your peripheral vision, things moving, and you'll kind of go, huh? You're doing this? And it's just because a portal can be open and it can be active, or you are in a place that is active. If it bothers you, and if you get the connection that it is crossed over folks that maybe are trapped in that veil, when we die, and if, like, say we're murdered or we die in a way that's very unexpected, fast, and traumatic, souls can get caught kind of in the veil and can wander around for a long time, very confused, and you have the ability to help them go home. You just call in, you just say, hey, you know, who do you love? Who would you like to come in? Who do you feel safe with? Who's your favorite relative? You know, and they'll say, oh, my mom or my aunt. A lot of the times it's an aunt. And you say, all right, well, let's call them in. And you call them in, and they will come to help that person, that being, that spirit cross, and you have the ability to do that. So when when you're in that space and you ask, who is it that you would like to come, just close your eyes and breathe and just relax your body, and just maybe you'll hear a ringing in your ears, or you'll just feel that tingle in your body. Just take a minute to set your energy. Now, folks, we talk about using discernment, using protection when you do that kind of divination, because you have to understand all divination is us. We are the divination tool. Whether you are using a pendulum or divining rods, or you're reading through cards, or you're meditating, what you are doing is you are lining up your aspects, your conscious to your subconscious to your higher self, your physical, and then your energy body. And when you do that, when you call on that, if you understand like the 6 calls, that is call 2. And just give yourself a minute to do that. And then think of something where you felt the happiest or the most like self actualized, like a moment in your life where you just felt joy, like where you were coming apart at the seams with joy. Just take a moment to recall that memory so that your energy body becomes that. Because when you become that, darkness or unwanted energy, I don't see it like darkness, but unwanted energy can't fill those cracks. It can't touch it. And that is the highest form of protection there is. So that's why doing something like the 6 calls, doing it, thoroughly understanding it, taking a ritual like that and understanding what you are doing in your spirit. And then over time, it just becomes second nature. And you feel that kind of buzz. You feel it when you start to say those calls, and you can say them rapidly and fast, calling on my guide team of 100% divine light. Please assist me with this work today. By the power of grace, I consciously save my entire being. Because when you do that, it's turning your attention towards your spirit guide team. But what you are doing is you are connecting. You are making that conscious connection. And when that happens, your whole body, your conscious to your subconscious to your higher self, physical and energy bodies, they are lining up. You become an open channel. You are the divination tool. That's what psychic work is. So, doing that, long story, way around, that when you are calling in a relative, so you want to take that minute to just get yourself seated, like planting your feet firmly on the ground and lining up your channel with spirit so that you are one column of light. And then feel that, just that joy, that memory. Call that in, and you can get right back into that energy like that. And when you do that, then say, okay, it's like putting your oxygen mask on first before your child's when you're in the airplane. Makes sense? You've got to get yourself set, and then boom, then you can help others. So very good. Sharon the Frenchie, I hope that helps, honey. Thank you for being a member. All right, hon. Okay. Um, you had your first encounter. Salty tea? I don't know what you're talking about. I want to know though. Okay. The stone of peace, lepidolite, has a lithium in it. It's good if you're experiencing anxiety, if you have a mood disorder, if you're experiencing depression. It's very good for calming and for sleep. It really just reminds you. When I hold lepidolite, when I touch it, it's like my shins kind of tingle, my calf muscles tingle when I hold this stone. Putting it on your heart calms my heart down. I really work with lepidolite. I have a lot of it around my house. It's very good if you have AFib. It's That's why I have a lot going right now. So, um, excellent stone for that. But this is a stone for right now, Arlene. Yeah. I have some lepidolite in the rock shop. I have pendants. I like to wear it right up my throat. I have ropes down to here if anyone is interested. Um, but wearing it there over, just as it's touching your heart, it's very good. Good question. A good trio for this month is lepidolite, amethyst, and black tourmaline. Where'd the amethyst go? This and this. Or I love lepidolite in freeforms and spheres. That's why I have a lot of this in the shop for that. It works best that way. Or adding howlite, amethyst, and lepidolite. This will help you sleep. Put that by your bed on your nightstand. Nothing else in your room. If you have stones in dishes like selenite dishes, selenite can be an amplifier in your bedroom. So you want to put it under glass. Like I have boxes for my jewelry and they have plexiglass on top so I can see in there. But that way the energy is not blasting out. I will leave like my quartz if I'm needing healing. I will put my quartz like in my selenite bowl, but I use my jewelry intentionally on the tabletop. 3 to 6 feet. You want your stones 3 to 6 feet away from each other so that the energy doesn't cancel each other out. Does that make sense? Good. All right. Good. And Lisa, could you please talk about New Zealand and the energy in this country? Okay, I'm going to use my cards to get a message on that, Lisa. Very quiet. People are everywhere. We're feeling kind of being squished financially. Prices are going up all over the country, and now the Iranian war is going to it's going to change things for us all. I feel that with New Zealand, like pockets, people are really feeling like, what? How do I do this? That's that feeling. Tell me about New Zealand and its energy. What can folks do? There we go. What can folks do to manage feeling overwhelmed? Yeah. Pink says very overwhelmed, stressed, pushed, squeezed. He's showing me you in a box and boxed in, like not alternatives, not solutions being presented. It's that moment before solutions are, or it's not the moment before. It's that energy that builds to get to that moment where solutions can be presented. All right, here we go. Yeah, carrying a heavy burden for a long time in the Ten of Wands. There's a lot of weight on the shoulders in New Zealand. It's like on the country itself. It's such a beautiful country. I mean, it's just so gorgeous, but big, burdensome weight with so many responsibility. It's like the collective shoulders. It's very heavy, but you don't. People are isolating and they're feeling scared in um, like alone, quietly. You know, people are talking about it like, whoa, groceries, geez, did you see that? They went up $5 for, um, some lentils. But yeah, wow. So just remember, you don't have to do it alone. And people are going to start doing that. They're going to start strategizing to help each other, coming up with creative ways to kind of ease that burden. But it's okay. No one is going to judge anyone if folks start reaching out. You're kind of at this place where folks aren't reaching out for support or to talk about, hey, I need support. Or can we start thinking about how we can support each other? Yeah, this is very unexpected. It's a lot of grief and sadness, and feeling of betrayal because you're in the Three of Swords in the beginning of the story. A lot of betrayal is what Pink is saying. Yeah, the U.S. and Israel have they've set the whole world on a course, um, a position of instability. But also, this has been building like collectively since COVID. But this will be temporary. That the things are changing where folks will collaborate to help each other, to come up with creative solutions, to help each other. Like, creating, I mean, in our world, we're all so into rocks, and we use them that, but rocks kind of wear out for people. The energy, it doesn't support the frequency anymore. You don't need it. Your energy has changed. So, and then we do like a trading kind of program where, oh, you got some orange calcite, I've got some hematoid rose quartz here. Are you needing a little support from the rose quartz? It's that kind of thing. It's being very creative in ways that you wouldn't think, like a crystal exchange, right? Yeah. But you guys, New Zealand, you guys, you Kiwis, man, you are so high vibrational. You are open hearted and so welcoming. Um, you just enjoy community, you enjoy celebration, you accept each other so much. It's not like you try to control. That's what I love about Kiwis is that it's not like they try to change or control somebody's experience. It's like in the culture to just allow others to be. It's this real peaceful sense and just this loving acceptance. So just marinate in that, socialize, and create happy groups. I see happiness of support. Don't hang out with people that don't match who you are. And that's what is happening. The world is kind of, the bombs went off about a week ago. They've been going off, but literally. And but what that is driving us to is an energy of more authenticity. We're seeing the blatant hypocrisy of what's going on, what the United States did, what Israel did. You know, we got involved. It's really about the money in Saudi Arabia. It's really what it is. But it was Israel pulling us in, but saying that, oh no, all this instability in the Middle East and making them out to be the super duper bad guy. And we see that that's not the real reason. And so, what that energy is, what the soul contract is around authenticity. And so, what that's going to do is challenge us in our own lives to choose, what is authentic to us. So, in your relationships, with your life partner, with your children, with friends, those things will be challenged, tested, will come up. And you may notice a lot of movement, but just go in with the intention of being your most authentic self. That's the energy you guys are marinating in. Because this will help us to embrace this energy in the oneness of all. And that's what we are being challenged to do right now. It is so beautiful. But that is what the ultimate challenge is for us, and how we are going to rise above and survive this time, or thrive through this time, or after this time. Yeah, good. And then, your work will pay off. 3 of Wands. You're going to go through a big change. But it's just like how the world, we need to change. Like our young people, we need to start understanding how they live, how they view the world. They are shaping and molding the consciousness of our reality. And we need to adapt and listen and understand and see a different perspective. Create that crystal exchange, right? All that work, it will be manifested into peace and ease. As far as money, inflation, price, the cost of goods, it is going to just keep creeping. I'm sorry that the United States set us on an even more intense path, but things will adjust and will modulate and level out. But we need to be creative in how we support each other and provide. Yeah, that's what I see, Lisa. Keep your sights on what you are creating, is what Pink says. So, good. Good. Thank you, my dear. Okay. I'm looking at my questions. That's what I'm doing. Remember, I feel like we're going through them. Yeah, I would agree. We are growing. T. Lynn, she thought it was the antihistamine that she's on, and she's still having issues. Yes, my dear. So a thing that helps with that, gang, is the using the torus, the toric field in sacred geometry. Um, look it up if you're not familiar. You'll see it with the earth. It's the magnetic field kind of flows. That's the torus. And in sacred geometry, it's moving energy. And you can use the torus. See yourself as a toric field and just take time. So make sure that you just spend that couple minutes where you say drop in, adjust, shift, anchor. Find some word that works for you or a phrase that reminds you to just drop into the moment. Stop this and be in your body. And that's dimension one. That's the still point within, the blueprint of who we are. And, make sure that you do that. Then have your moment of self-actualization where you just feel that happiness and that joy and you become the light. And then, because you're going to be dealing with others' energy, when you become the toric field, that's what I mean, is that it's like your spirit is getting out of the way and you are just allowing that energy, that entropy that's all out there, all that crazy, that chaos, that anxiety, that grief, but also that leveling up, that joy, that peace, that it's all those emotions that are flying around that we walk around in. And when we're standing next to someone and if they're dysregulated, and so this is a way that you can kind of focus your energy and just do your public service of just transmuting that energy that's around you, kind of see it coming in from all over, whatever it is, and then just move down through and down through into the earth and then back up. And it's like washing that energy and you just send it back to the God consciousness. You grab that piece of the earth. You're not sending it down into the earth. You're sending it back to the God consciousness. The thing about some of you ninth dimensionals, especially any Andromedan star seeds, you guys are here for that specific purpose, to hold the light. Doesn't mean you're running around saying love and light to everyone in that disingenuous way. No, you really are it. You understand that all beings have their karma, that humans have their story, that we souls have our story, our stuff to work out. And it's not for you to try to control how somebody responds to the events in their life or what that means for their spiritual growth or any of that stuff. You guys are so developed that you understand that that is for that soul's journey, but you have the ability to hold space for it, to allow that energy to just become really focused and clear so that folks can do the work that they need to do. So try using the toric field to help kind of clear yourself out of all of this energy, because it is making a lot of you really tired. So, okay. Mom speech. McKenna says, oh, don't talk too much, Mom. You give everybody their mom speech. Okay. All right. Oh, Gina. I see you, Gina. Oh, I know. I'm not saying that it's people here, are Americans. Absolutely. I agree. I don't want to give anyone that impression that I think it's the people. No. But thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Ah, let's see. Hi, Gina. I always chat with my daughter and her boyfriend about how they have the huge privilege of doing things differently, of holding them up. I love that, Gina. See, you get it. It's not like, oh, you got to fit into how I do life. We've got to fit into how they need us to support them and how they do life. I think that's so cool. Good, 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 good. Oh, hi, Ingrid. Okay, I think there's a way that we can do that. Adrian, he adds captions to the videos, but I think on the lives, I think there's something I can do in the settings on YouTube, but I'm not sure. But I will investigate that. I will write it down. So, captions on lives. Thank you for pointing that out. And I'll look into it, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gina, you're as Mama Kaya. Good. Oh, hello, Starfish. Hi, Lady Di. Brenda Schaefer's here. Hi, honey. I know. I think we should do a rental program or an exchange. Salty's getting her lepidolite. Yep, this is lepidolite. This is an example from Brazil. And this is from the Ural Mountains in Russia. Lepidolite, lepidolite, Leah. Oh, Salty, I used to see what are those oh god, in between White Center and Burien. I'd be on the freeway and there's a huge snag right there. And Thunderbirds, the ones that flap, yes, there. I know that's a portal because McKenna saw them with me. It was two of them, and I know this is a really wild story, you guys, but we were at a place in Burien. We were getting some pho, and we were in line, and this gentleman was just talking, and kind of just rambling, like maybe he was in a manic episode. And I just smiled at him and just was in my own head too. And but he said something because he touched my arm, and he was Native American, and he said portal, and he pointed back in that direction, and he said they're called something in you might know. Salty's up in Washington. The name of the bird that's like a thunderbird, it's on the top of the totems. Do you remember? Put it in the chat. But um so I kind of like cued into him, because I know that folks that may seem like they are zooming or in a delusion are actually quite psychic and live in that realm all the time. So I like, oh, and McKenna looked at me and she said, what? And I said, he sees, and I can't remember the name, but I said they're like thunderbirds, the birds that flapped that are in mythology. And when we were driving back down between Burien to White Center on, what is that, 512, and we were coming down and looked in the snag, there's that huge snag right there, and we saw two of them flapping, and I was like, oh my God, and I said, McKenna, and she said, oh my God. And that was, we were just kind of stunned and kept going. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so best way to contact alien extraterrestrial friends. I mean, there are two along with the dragon. Coincidence connected to woo. No, it's not too woo. You can never be too woo with me. I go to some pretty woo places. Um, yeah, because I think that's what I was experiencing. There was a connection to that gentleman in line. Um, but as far as, I mean, there's all kinds of ET races, Salty, that are, they look like dragon. There's Dracos that, when they're 10th dimensional and their crown is open, they're channeling white light. But that being has many levels to move through in their dimensional self. It's like their whole existence, one lifetime, can be a movement of many dimensions, like climbing a ladder, so to speak. Whereas most of our experiences in our, um, in other star systems are within that dimension, right? In that place. But those beings, Dracos, and they're around Andromeda, they're on the backside. There's many planet stars around there, but it's like a cluster, a concentration of where they are at. But they can look very dragon. They can come at certain points in your life, says Courtney is here, where it's time for transformation. But it's a transformation, not just like in choosing a different path, like a different job, or friends are falling away, or a relationship is dissolving or something. It's not that. It's where your spirit, your intuition is really opening up, or it's time for it. Or sometimes that happens when it's not like we are wanting it. She's showing me it's like pushing us, yeah, for our own soul's growth. I hope that helps, hon. But I know you know what I'm talking about between Burien and White Center. Check it out. That was pretty trippy. Pretty trippy. All right. What else do we have here? Gina. Uh-oh. Gina, I lost that. It's been worse. As I put, many of us are part of the transmutation. Yeah, Gina, you have, it's like you've got challenges that are hitting you in three different directions. I'm not going to go into it here because we're not private, but absolutely a big piece of this is where you are from and your starseed mission, and how you hold the light, but you hold it in your body. You've had some experiences in your past where You just really hold the energy in your body. And that's why you experience struggles with health issues, and then but also this tiredness, and it will exacerbate like people like lupus. You may like have a flare, or herpes that has been flaring for folks. Things like that, where it's in your autonomic nervous system. And when we go through things like we are going through with our administration here, it's creating this just like, yeah. So you're going to be feeling a lot of it. And you're so pure, Gina. You are just this beautiful, pure soul and all of this stuff. You're not into this kind of ick, right? Yeah. Oh, hi, Leah and Denise. Good. The Thunderbird. Is it the Thunderbird, Lady Kirashka? It is the Thunderbird, right? Courtney says yes, there are Thunderbirds in Arizona. Is it the Algonquin? Yeah, it's a name like that. You know what I'm talking about? It's at the top of all the totems up there in the Northwest. I can't. I'm asking. I'm not getting the name. She says yes. All right, guys. Well, we got through the list. If I missed your question, just put it in again. Please, please. And if you have questions, put them in the comments and I will address them in the next video when we do this live. Any more questions for anyone? Now my screen is gone. Oh, all right. Good question, Brenda. Yeah. How do we adapt to this changing economy? Let me get a story here that, we're in a period of contraction. Our economy, I know that they love to say it on the news that, oh, it's golden age. It's great. It's like, what? No, it's contracting. It's store owners, business owners. So we have to be creative in the face of these challenges. The energy is going to change after the election. Like January, February, people are going to be more comfortable and they won't be waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's what people are doing right now. Like this, hanging on, not spending, not living. So for you, Brenda, but for everyone, how do we deal with this as business owners? And um, just staying in your power, staying in your authenticity. And it is going to be a bit of a struggle here. But after the election, the energy, it's going to be just like, oh, people are going to relax and there's going to be more flow. But you need to be creative. Business owners, get your Queen of Wands on. This is the energy of confidence, being strong. You know, you may be scared. You may be like, oh, I don't want to get up today. I don't want to deal with this. There's just, you feel like the wave is coming. You owe all this, but there's no business. And so get your Queen of Wands on. Passion, showing up, due diligence, staying in the moment, because you know how to take charge of your life and see those goals through to completion. You know, maintaining a positive outlook. Um, you know, it's not that fakey kind of, oh, I got to stay positive. Oh, if I could just stay positive. Well, no, you don't feel positive. So, no, how are you going to stay positive if you don't really feel it? You know, it's honoring that, okay, I feel fear, I feel anxiety, I feel, and I don't like how I feel like this. So finding something that brings you joy, where you can find that still point within. You can connect with your spirit guides. Calling on my spirit guides of 100% divine light, please assist me with this work today. By the power of grace, I consciously state that my entire being at all levels shall be reset to wholly align with 100% divine light now. By the power of grace, I consciously state that my consciousness, subconscious, highest self, physical and energy bodies shall be reset to wholly align with 100% divine light now. By the power of grace, I consciously state that my guide team shall be made up of only beings that fully align with 100% divine light now. By the power of grace, I consciously state that any spiritual attachments that I have created that do not align fully with 100% divine light be released for the greatest and the highest good of all now. By the power of grace, I consciously state that my environment through infinity shall be reset to wholly align with 100% divine light now. By the power of grace, I consciously state that only beings, energies, and experiences that fully align with 100% divine light be allowed within my energy fields now. Calling on my guide team of 100% divine light, please assist me with this work today as I perform a full and complete release at all levels for any and all negativity that is interfering with me in any way now. Block all negative energy connections to me fully and completely, and release from my being any spiritual attachments that I have made as a result. Please dissolve that negative energy into the light to be sent home for the greatest and the highest good of all now. Doing something like that, you guys, really helps. When you are wanting to be positive, you know, that's just kind of goofy. You know, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. So get down to the root of it. Line up your aspects. Call in your guide team of 100% divine light. That is your guides of 10th dimension and beyond. And you want to work with the guides of 10th dimension and beyond. When you make that statement, calling on my guide team of 100% divine light, It's like a law of the universe. Just like for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's the same thing in the spirit world. Calling on your guide team of 100% divine light, that's the big guns. That's the light dimensions. You are calling on your guides of 10th dimension and beyond. We have many levels of guides, many different dimensional beings are guides. There's fairies and there's sprites and there's cryptids. But certain cryptids can be really high, like Sasquatch is 25th dimensional. Plus, they are also a consciousness. They're very interesting. It's a whole separate thing. But when you're calling on those guides, you want to make sure that you're dealing with 10th dimension and beyond. So doing something like this, it's practical, it's real. It's a real way to shift your energy so that you can get out of that fear, that rumination, that anxiety, and get anchored in and build that channel to the light. Then you start hearing, you start really feeling you are in tandem with your guide team, with spirit. And it changes over time. At first, it's something that you want to do slowly, kind of take each sentence and mull it over and, so that you can take it in and allow it to become a part of your energy. That is something that we can do, is to everyone to just be mindful of their own spiritual journey and their own spiritual growth in this process. That's what we can do now. We can do it as parents for our kids, business owners, as teachers, as just other citizens of the universe. It's good for all of us. We're going to be weighed as business owners. Folks will be weighed with difficult decisions, letting things go. So that, just remember, if you have to let things go, it's so that the new can come in. The new will come in. It's just kind of like how COVID, it was difficult, but yet once we got out of it, we realized what a cool thing happened. I mean, yeah, it sucked. Some parts of it really, really sucked, but for what it did for humanity as the reset, it was pretty, it really forced us in our humanity to grow, to rise, to expand, to ascend. People woke up, right, and left. But things had to be let go of in order for the new to come in. We all had to stop. And we were, locked in our houses, but everything had to stop so that that recalibration could happen. And that's what's happening now. It's one more, it's like another rung in this ladder. It's just continuing, Brenda. Be careful of choices that may appear as good opportunities. It can be, you want to make sure that it is real. Pink is showing me that, like a veneer, kind of that delusional, like an illusion. So take a moment, really stay. He's showing me all of us being planted in our own 2 feet before any decisions are made. Just give yourself a minute. Yeah, that If there is grief, if there's that sharp sting of heartbreak, just know that things have to leave in order for the new to come in. It will not be forever, he says. But once again, it's going to be a contraction before an expansion. So just stay rooted in your grounding practice. The more you can stay in your own 2 feet, feel your feet on the earth instead of that buzzing in your head and dig monkey mind and rumination. It's going to keep you fragmented. It's going to keep you separate. You got to, boom, lock into your own 2 feet. That's what he says. Yeah, good question. Thank you. Very, very cool. Can I write that out for you? You can find it in the this book. I highly recommend it. Soul Contracts with Danielle McKinnon. That 6 calls is on page 52. The negative energy release is on page 62. I teach a spirit guide class where we take that apart for 2 hours. You learn where your spirit guides reside, how to use them to clear, to manifest, bring things in, build a relationship. We all have a huge team, Brenda. And so why not use them? They are so ready. You know, when you make that statement, calling on my guide team of 100% divine light, please assist me with this work today. I mean, seriously, you make that proclamation out to the universe, they're like, oh my God, Brenda's calling on us, you know, and they want to help. And it's a way to build a relationship so that it's really focused. And once you do that, once you understand those feelings in your body, paying attention to the energy in your body, knowing when they are trying to get your attention, you know, or giving you an idea or nudging you in a certain direction. It just becomes something that's just a natural part of your daily energetic practice. So, and we use this in the soul contracts class to do our soul contract work, releasing unwanted energy and manifesting what it is that we do want to bring into our lives. So, yeah. So sign up for a class, sweetie. JenBushman.com. We go all through that. Okay. Hi, Spiritual Sean. Do we come out the other side of all this? In other words, do we win? Yeah, in a way, but we transform. We transform into something higher. I mean, look at what's happening, you guys. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, whoever thought she would be speaking like a liberal? I mean, she's like, it's like, wow, this is really interesting. And remember, we have to allow people to change, you know? These podcasters that were so like pro this regime they're not. They're seeing the truth. You know, they're seeing what this whole thing with the Epstein files. It's just stunning that other countries are making movement on prosecution, but here, the United States just digging their heels in even firmer. But the more that is done, The reflection of that is light, truth, authenticity. And that's what people are clinging to. That's the challenge that each of us collectively we are experiencing, but also on that individual level, Sean. Yeah, we're going to transform into something uh, much better. We're going to feel some relief this time next year. It's going to feel very differently. It really is. I mean, that's what I've been shown. So, yeah. Thank you, sweetie. Since that recalibration, I haven't found my way to any financial growth. Really, Denise? Well, don't do acting anymore. You're meant to be a healer. Didn't we've talked about this? Yeah. Okay. All right. Love you too, Brenda. Sign me up. Okay. All right. It's a battle of light versus dark. Okay. Oh, hi, Nora. Thank you. Those are my Navajo beads. Aren't they cool? They're like Navajo pearls. Yeah. Yes. Allow space for people to awaken. I love that. Thank you, sweetie. Otherwise, what are we doing? I know. Then we're just spinning. Hello, Tammy. Hi, hun. Yep. That is so sad that the truth is so hard for all to see. Oh my God. We've been on for like an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, no, I got to go lie down now and take a nap. See? Oh my gosh. I made lasagna yesterday. I made this lasagna casserole, you guys. Have you any of you ever made that? It's like lasagna, but it's just like tossing it in a big bowl. So I made the lasagna noodles. I just broke them up instead of leaving them long al dente. I took a thing of ricotta with fresh basil and egg, white pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Put that in my little food processor, and made my ricotta mixture. Then I made my sauce, and I used pork and beef. And I think this recipe that I was following, it's a lot of meat. I don't think you need that much meat. It was like too much. And then, but it was good. But I put in garlic powder, onion, Italian seasoning. Should have put in a little sugar. I usually don't do that, but sometimes if those tomatoes are too acidic, it's pretty acidic. But it was pretty good. Salt, pepper. That was the meat tomato mixture. Then then you just kind of loosely toss it, like real quick. Don't mix it, just kind of toss. So that there's some ricotta over here. And then you put in like a little bit, and then you just put the mozzarella cheese, just a little bit in the layers. So it just kind of is all casserole-y. And then I put fresh mozz on top. So it was, yeah, okay, mushrooms. I like a little bit of meat. Um, I like a little bit of meat, but it was just, you don't need, 2.5 pounds of it for that quantity. Yeah. So, but it was yummy. It is yummy. You know how it tastes better the next day? It was very good. Okay, gang. So, I don't know. Was it a mess? Yeah, it was not too bad. Take a nap before you go to bed. Self care. Yes. Okay. Ooh, I love making stew. Okay, so when I cook, you guys know I was in the food business. So when I cook, chefs come in for me, and it's like I'm channeling when I cook. Like Andre Soltner came in, I was making a cauliflower soup, and it was just cauliflower, onion, and water boiled. But before I bloomed some nutmeg and I gave it just a little hit of lemon. And so before I added the water, and I was just like cooking it down, getting a nice, caramelization on the cauliflower and the onion. And then Andre Soltner was standing there and he said, hit it with the salt right now. And, and so I did. I got salt. I didn't even think about it, that I needed salt. And then he showed me how that caramelization will set when you add salt, like it pulls the sugar out and it will set it. And that's how you have to get it right at that right point when it's roasting, when it's getting that caramel, when it's caramelizing, and it will set the sugar in the vegetable. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I know, Jennifer. It is. It's like, I know. McKenna, she's like, Mom, you should, she'll hold the camera while I'm cooking and see, because Julia Child came in because I partied with her in Hawaii. We went bar hopping in Waikiki because I worked in Hawaii. I worked with Alan, and she was there for a few days working, and I just loved her. We just became like friends. And so I was like, come on, we're going bar hopping afterwards. So, and it's a karaoke bar, but it wasn't like a karaoke bar with a stage. It was this little tiny bar. It was in the back of the Outrigger Main. The Outrigger's right on the beach in Waikiki, right in the middle, next to the Royal Hawaiian and next to the other Sheraton. It's the Outrigger Main, it's called. And it was on the street. And it was just this little tiny bar. Only women worked there. It was just really cool. And the microphone jacks were underneath the bar. So you could just sit on your chair and sing. And so so I'm talking to all my friends because Waikiki, it's like a small town. Everybody knows everybody that lives there. And all of a sudden it was just this a white sport coat and a pink carnation, in her voice, and just like ripped it out. It was so loud. We were all like, oh my God. And it was so cool. So it's that song, A White Sport Coat and a Pink Carnation. And but she drank gin and tonics, but with no ice. They were warm. And she talked about Paul, her husband. They loved each other so much, you guys. It's such an inspiring story, and her relationship with food. You know, how people viewed her as like this really sophisticated, like chef with formal training. And no, she just loved cooking, but it was also like a challenge for her. You could see it in her spirit that she loved to challenge herself, right? Like, oh, I got an old dresser and I'm gonna sand it down and refurbish it, right? You do something like that. That's not an easy job. Like she loved that kind of stuff. And that's what cooking was for her, but she just loved it. She loved loving through food, good food. When you start cooking with really real ingredients, and that was the thing, because that was in the 90s. Food used to come from Food Services of America over in Hawaii. And Hawaii has now, everything is grown there. They grow blackberries on the beach and strawberries. It's pretty cool. And they raise lobster. They brought from Maine over in Kona. They grow tomatoes and they use the wind to control the pests. It's just all this really cool stuff. And you go up country or up mountain, but they call it up country. And there's all kinds of different fruits. There were these rose apples. They were apples that, to me, they tasted like the cross between a grape and a rose. And oh my God, I would eat those. I'd eat like 50 of them and then I'd have a tummy ache. But they were so good. And Hawaiians would be just like, you like those? They're so used to them. I'm like, oh my God, how can you not? But there's so much great food over there. And they used to bring it in. They'd fly it in, Food Services of America. And that's why it was always brown, oxidized. But it was the Hawaii Regional Cuisine, and it was this coalition of 13 chefs. And they were committed to using only fresh ingredients. And that's the whole basis of whole cuisine, French. And but she and I had this really cool conversation about that when you make the transition and cook everything from its origin. Yeah. It was just neat, you guys. So anyway, cooking with the spirits. Yeah. Yeah, the movie Julie and Julia. I forgot about that. Yeah. And Meryl Streep did such a good job. She really captured her essence. She was so tall, but just a beautiful, loving, light presence, and just really stayed in the moment. She just didn't have that. She was just always in the moment. It was very cool. Yes. Yeah, it was pretty neat. Yeah, and the Hawaii regional cuisine was because Hawaii is such a melting pot. There's Filipino and Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, Laotian. I mean, just, oh, so much. And those chefs, Alan, that I worked for, um, best chef I've tasted a lot of food. His cooking was amazing, but it was so cool using, um, different cooking techniques, recipes, ideas, and bringing them all together with that French base. It was pretty neat. Really cool, you guys. Okay. All right. Thank you. Save that question for next time, sweetie. I gotta go. But do ET's work interact with spirits? Yeah. I mean, Courtney's an ET guide. And she's from Sirius B. Yes. We have guides that are ET guides. We all do. We are from the stars. This is a third dimensional experience. Nobody is born in a third dimensional experience. Since we are in the third dimension right now, we are concerned with our soul's journey, dimensions 1 through 15. And when we like do all of our work between dimension 6 and 15, it's like we check off boxes and we get our little merit badge in each dimension. And when all that work is done, we reunite, we become a collective conscious with our soul family, which is 25 other souls. So there's 26 souls in a soul family. And then we ascend back to the sun or behind the sun and do our higher work there, like one soul. And but when we incarnate, uh, there's order to the universe. It's not random. There's a lot of order. Societies like order. It's only in the third dimension that you see, not being a sheep as power. No, there's power in order. And like the Pleiades is a very ordered society. They like it. They dig it. Teamwork, getting along, gets things done. You move forward a lot quicker when there's order. So, but yeah, interesting. Courtney's here. Yeah. And she's like, yes. So we do incarnations. So, like, I did incarnations with Courtney, and then I met Courtney when I was 22. She was a walk in and explained to me all about star seeds and, um, what walk ins are and why. But she started me in understanding, or at that point it was kind of like planting a seed for the soul contract work that I am so into. That soul contracts are not with people, they're through people. That what is it that's being reflected back to us, that which we need to learn. So the people that are in our lives that we think we have a contract with, it's actually the contract is with spirit, with God. But these people show up and reflect back to you what you need to learn most. So she started me on that, the beginnings of understanding that we are energy, that our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, that they are energy, and we can transmute our energy. Therefore, what we broadcast is what we draw to us. But that's all the soul contract stuff. You can find it at jenbushman.com. Okay, guys. Oh, that's the soul contract class, sweetie. That's the soul contract series. We start that in April, and it's 10 sessions. It's like every other Saturday and every other Monday night. I think we're doing it on Sunday this time in April, and I think Sunday and Tuesday night. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's a whole nother thing. We could spend hours talking about that. So the thing about walk-ins, T-Lynn, is that if a soul is struggling, if you are struggling, and like you're getting to that place where you want to unalive yourself. I can't say the S word on YouTube, but that's why everybody says unalive now. So, but self unaliving, you get to that point where you are really ready to just go. Like when it's a soul that it has struggled so much that it's almost like at the point of no return. That's when uh, the possibility of a walk-in will come in. And that's what happened with Courtney. She uh, she came in. This woman was on her way out, and Courtney had a star seed purpose. She had a mission to fulfill. So that's how that happens. But yes, T Lynn, they can like look very different. Like you think you're just dealing with a different person because all of a sudden they like chicken liver and they used to hate liver, and their eyes may be a different color, and they may just they look the same because they're in the body, but sometimes they can bring the eyes with them. Like Courtney's eyes are very very distinctive. Okay, I could talk to you forever. I love you all so much. Oh, the dimensional work. I have dimensions classes. We meet twice a month, and we meet every other Saturday. The first Saturday is like lecture, and the next Saturday, so they're 2 hours, so it's 4 hours total. And then I channel, and it's pretty cool. It's like you're asking my guides questions about the dimensions, because the dimensional work is really important. It's kind of like the next level of what's coming into our awareness that we are tapping into for our spiritual growth. I've been channeling this for like the last 5 years, getting up early and typing on the laptop, and fastening it into a book. But I've created this series, so has this cool iteration to it. Like dimension 1 was January, dimension 2 is February, dimension 3 is March, and then we finished 12 in December. So there's a bundled thing that you can do that's a little cheaper. You can just do it piecemeal, month by month. But yeah, I'm not going to do that as membership um, in the YouTube, but definitely questions can be asked in the inner circle around it. But as far as the class, that's it's got to be in person because I'm channeling. That's not an easy thing on YouTube. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I've been sick though, you guys know that. So we're behind. We haven't gotten into even the second dimension yet. So you can still sign up and you know come and just dimension 1's the still point. Those are recorded. And then dimension 2 is where your consciousness enters the picture into our experience. So pretty cool stuff. All right, guys. Gail George, she was in the inaugural group. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, T. Lynn. He suddenly I know who I was standing. Really? Oh. Well, no. I mean, it wouldn't work that way. In the way that I understand it, T. Lynn, you may have had another kind of experience, but that would be freaky. Okay, gang. All right. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Okay, jenbushman.com. Go check it out. I've got readings available and classes coming up. Okay, but I'll see you next time. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.